Namaskar and Good Dark friends. I am here in Roorkot with Noreen and Lalita, the co-founder of LaLaLand Festival. We are here to understand their experiences and insights into the cultural exchange between India and the Netherlands. Welcome Noreen, welcome Lalita to the podcast, which is called the Tulips Lounge, based on the flower which is very famous in the Netherlands, the tulips.
And India now.
And India now as well, yes. Rightly said, yeah. So I think we just want to know, Noreen and Lalita, how you two are connected, because wherever we find the LaLaLand Festival, on the internet, on the flyers, we always find two names, Noreen and Lalita. And you both are the co-founders of LaLaLand. So how are you two connected?
So it's very interesting. As you already mentioned, my name is Lalita, which is an Indian name, but I'm Dutch, as well as Noreen. And we both met in India. We met each other in India, in New Delhi, in 2007. We were both living there and raising our families, and that's where we met, 2007 in India.
Wonderful,
that's where we
wonderful. Till today, when you told me this, I thought you were sisters.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We look like each other with my blue eyes and her brown eyes.
Yeah, no, wonderful. Talking about New Delhi, I think you people have stayed in India for quite long. You, Noreen, 17 years, 20 years, and Lalita, you 7 or 8 years, right?
Exactly.
So, any interesting experiences of India that you can, recall and share with our audience?
Maybe the first thing to say is that we both raised our families there. Our children were born in India, and we both had our own businesses. So for us, it was India by choice, and not because we were sent by a embassy or by an international company. Both of us lived there by choice. So maybe you can tell a little bit more about that.
Yeah, and India, I came there in 2003. So can you imagine 2003 India and 2020 India, the differences? We have had so many adventures, like traveling the country, doing business, as women entrepreneurs. We had a great time.
Wow.
Yes.
That links to my next question, Noreen, about your entrepreneurship experiences. I also saw your profile, and you also help people in Netherlands to set up the business in India. So is it something that you do, Noreen, or Lalita, you do, or you both do?
Yeah, this is actually that I've taken from living and working in India for 17 years. Since 4 years, I'm back in the Netherlands. And I see that, India is booming. And a lot of Dutch businesses want to go to India, but there's still a bridge to take. And of course, we're doing that through a cultural lens, but also on a business level. I have a good understanding of the Indian landscape, have a good network, and I see I can help entrepreneurs from the Netherlands setting up in India, both on sourcing of talent. Of course, there's a market for production, but also just to sell products and services. So I organize business trips to India, and this is for entrepreneurs, C-level executives, and this next one is going to be on the 4th of October for 1 week.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. So not only culture, but also business and commerce.
Definitely.
You are supporting both the countries in India. Wonderful.
Yeah, that is India, right?
Wonderful,
Full of culture and it's full of business.
Yeah, absolutely. So from business to culture, sorry, you were saying something?
No, especially already back then, of course, it was also about cultural and business.
Okay.
So when we were living in India, we both had our own business.
Wonderful.
As women entrepreneurs, which was quite special at that time.
Yeah.
I think in that way, we were also different from a lot of other people moving to India, is that we both started our own business in New Delhi as a woman.
Wonderful.
And that's quite special.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And linking the business to Lala of LaLaLand. Do you know what Lala means in India? No, Lala means a businessman.
I wanted to say there's a few. Apart from the whimsical feeling, it also is straight business. Lala.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah. So we call anyone who is doing a business, a small or a big, we call them as Lala. So that is where I thought it's a very nice linking pin between
Gee, Malume.
But it is, of course, as well, because it's a name that we particularly decided to have,
Seriously? Oh.
LaLaLand.
Okay.
Actually, Noreen found it in the
Okay.
dictionary.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So LaLaLand, a lot of people have a connotation, right? There is a movie called LaLaLand, and people always say, "Wow, LaLaLand! It sounds so familiar." LaLaLand is in a dictionary where it says that people who move to Los Angeles think they're going to make it, and they actually have big dreams. And a lot of people say, "But you're never going to make them happen." And we say, no, LaLaLand means a land where we're making impossible things come true.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I've been to LaLaLand festivals a couple of times, and I can really vouch for that. Thank you so much, Noreen. Yeah. Now, what was the inspiration behind founding LaLaLand? Is it something your idea, her idea, and you all came together, or how did it happen?
Yeah, that's actually a little bit how it happened, right? So, in 2021, my father passed away, and
Oh, so sorry.
he was really a Dutch person who was into Indian classical music and dance. He was the first to introduce Indian classical musicians to the Netherlands back in 1950, in the 1950s.
Nice.
He even studied in India as well. He studied at the Hindu University of Benares,
Oh.
Indian classical music and dance, and he introduced the first Indian musicians here. 1957, Ravi Shankar was here for the first time.
Pandit Ravi Shankar.
The first one to come to the Netherlands. So I grew up with a lot of Indian classical music around me and people coming to the Netherlands. And when he passed away, I wanted to organize a remembrance concert, basically, something like that. And that idea became a little bit bigger. And then I thought maybe we should have a few more concerts because one will not be sufficient to actually give an example what he did. And then at that time, I was talking to Noreen, who I knew already had set up a festival in India. And she was looking for opportunities to do that here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And then we started talking.
If I may ask,
And
which
then the
festival was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my entrepreneurial journey in India started in Delhi, where I set up an advertising company, where we had advertising postcards in cafes and educational centers. And after that, like that we ran for about 8 years. And then it was time, because of the family, mainly to move from Delhi, because you know Delhi, it's a big city. Yeah. And our children were growing up, and we decided to move to Goa, the paradise. And there, of course, continued my entrepreneurial journey and focused more on CSR, but also on the arts and the culture, and helped setting up the Museum of Goa. And there I did a lot of programming, to put the museum into the market, attract people, different audiences. And from that started a festival. And guess what? This festival was already called LaLaLand.
Wow.
And there we brought different communities together. Goa has an enormous amount of talent, from all over the world. And when we moved to the Netherlands, I never really had the idea, like, now I need to start a festival. But when Lalita and I, whenever we come together, magic starts. It just sparks. And with her father passing away and my knowledge already of building festivals and our deep love and passion for India, we really thought, like, okay, we need to bring a festival to the Netherlands where we connect the Dutch audience with India.
Wonderful.
So it's not so much about connecting India or Indians in the Netherlands to an Indian festival, but to reach out to a new community, a Dutch community who doesn't know India very well.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Or has actually a lot of stereotype ideas about India itself as a country. So we particularly want to target the Dutch audience for our festival.
No, that's very important. I think last year's or last to last year's LaLaLand festival was called the Magic of India, if I remember, right?
It is, yes.
And that is where the term magic comes slow. And there is a connect also. I am also from Delhi, New Delhi, born and brought up in Delhi. So I think good that if we would have met in Delhi, LaLaLand Festival would have been started much earlier, no?
Yeah.
Perhaps, yeah. But then there is a LaLaLand Festival in Goa as well. That is what you are referring to, right? Or something else?
Yes, LaLaLand Festival in Goa we have had 5 editions. This year we skipped. We also have to see if we started again, because now the main focus is here, and we see how important it is to grow LaLaLand here and to build the bridges, make the connections between India and the Netherlands. Yeah. That's our focus.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, totally agree. So LaLaLand Festival is something that happens always in Royal Coach. Right, this place where we are sitting now. So what can people expect out of this LaLaLand Festival when they are coming here, say once in a year? And that is how it happens. So
yeah, it's a yearly festival over the weekend. So we program the whole Saturday and Sunday for a weekend in June or July. This year it's going to happen on 5th and 6th of July 2025. We have over 50 artists coming and participating. Some of them we bring from India itself. Others who are traveling already from India in Europe. We try to program them as well. And there are a lot of other groups and people, of course, in the Netherlands itself and in Europe to whom we can reach out. Or actually, they reach out to us nowadays. It's the other way around already. After 2 editions, this third one, we see that we grew in the recognition of everybody. We focus a few focuses we have, and one is the classical Indian music and dance. Secondly, we have contemporary modern artists to whom to the Dutch audience, we want to showcase actually what India has to offer nowadays as well. And the yoga meditation part is big as well for us, because there's a lot of people in the Netherlands who like to come for that. And in that way, when they're here, they will also get inspired by the rest of our festival, whatever it has to bring. So it's a whole scheme of everything, actually. We try to give a broader sense of the Indian cultural here in Ruigoord. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I think it is more of bringing the, I won't say ancient, but the rich cultural heritage and performing arts from India to Netherlands for people of Netherlands to see it.
Yes.
And also for people of India staying here to enjoy it as well.
Yes, well, we like to inspire the people, of course. We said to each other when we started, we would love people to move away from LaLaLand Festival and thinking this was magical. I want to be back next year as well, and then I want to learn more about the Indian culture. So that's our main focus.
Yeah, and as you say, it is for, we started to connect the Dutch audience with India, but we also, of course, realized when we moved to the Netherlands that we were looking through an Indian lens, right? And when you reach here, you realize what a large diaspora there is of Indian community in the Netherlands, consisting, of course, of expats, Indians, but also of the Hindustani community who have come through Suriname, then to the Netherlands. And in the beginning, it was quite a search, right? Who are we? Two Dutch ladies bringing Indian culture to the Netherlands. And the Indian community, how are they looking at us?
Wonderful.
And over the last 3 years, we've been really working with different people, talking, offering a platform, both for the Hindustani community, the Indian expat community, of course, Indians from India directly. And we're really bringing everything together. Of course, in the yoga, there are so many different people. Again, it's an entire new community for us. So that I think that is very important to realize, that LaLaLand is for everybody.
Exactly.
While you're talking about this, Noreen, I can see the excitement on your face. You are super excited, huh?
Yeah.
That is really the passion that we need.
What we have passion.
Passion
for this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But have you seen the impact of LaLaLand that you can share with us here?
So what do you mean by impact of LaLaLand?
So you do this LaLaLand with some objective to create an impact.
Yes.
Have you seen them?
Yes, of course, because it started as a passion project. It was a passion project for Noreen and myself, and the first edition had already over 1,300 people visiting us. So for a first edition, that's quite well done. And it's because, and the second edition had more than 2,000 people coming. And so we expect this year at least 2,500 people joining us. And they all, leave their feedback. And it's mainly positive. I mean, they all say it's so nicely done. We've seen such a big palette of everything that we didn't know, we have not seen or heard before, because we have performances, but also participation can happen. We have talks, we have sports. Apart from all the other artists performing on a stage, we have 6 different stages, in and outside. It's a real family concept. So there's something for everyone. For the little ones and for, let's say, older people. But we also want to include other people. We have a ticketed event. LaLaLand is ticketed. We also really would like to include that LaLaLand can be open for everyone. Also people with financially less in their wallet, or I don't know how to say, but marginalized. So we have collaborations with organizations, local organizations, NGOs who help us to invite people who else could not come. So we invite them to come to LaLaLand. And that's something that we also feel very strong of. We really would like to offer.
No, I think this will be your 4th edition this year or 3rd edition?
This is the 3rd edition. It's the 3rd edition.
So gladly, unfortunately, I've been into the previous 2 editions. And when I came here today morning, I was not able to identify this place.
No.
Is this where LaLaLand happens? No.
No.
So that shows how much of hard work goes into setting things up.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah.
And we are here at Ruigoord, right? And Ruigoord is a village in the middle of an industrial space, just outside Amsterdam. And it's a very special place on its own. It's very green at the moment, because it's everything still has to grow greener. And then when we are coming in, of course, we put in all the Indian decoration, the love and touch of India. And that's when we create LaLaLand.
Absolutely,
But I also feel this was already to tell you a little bit about the background why we actually organize it here at Ruigoord. There is also a magical touch again why it happens here. And that was one day that I was at Ruigoord for another party that was organized, and I saw that they had a strong connection with India. Because I saw a poster of Ravi Shankar hanging somewhere. And then we got to understand that actually more than 50 years ago, this community went in a bus together to India. They traveled to India with a bus, and along the way they performed, and that's how they made money, and they could travel further, and they stayed in Goa for a long time. And since then, they've been traveling back and forth a lot of times. So for them, there's a strong India connection as well. So it was not only us actually asking here to come here and to make this happen, but for them, it's also something that's really, sort of an extra add-on to who they are.
It was all destined.
It was all destined. Actually, that's absolutely how it feels.
Because when I enter the Royal Court, there is a Ganesha statue. I can see Om written on the wall.
Exactly.
So I was amazed when I came here for the first time 2 years back.
So now you know they have a strong connection with India as well.
And on the other side of this room, there is a chai being sold now. The masala Indian chai. Nice. You said Haji. So doing this kind of an event on that scale, right? And I will not say sustainability is not something we should care about, though it is a fad word nowadays. But do you take care of the sustainability aspect as well while doing such a large event on large scale? Or
we would love to talk about that. Actually.
And indeed, when you organize events, and especially when you're bringing artists from abroad, I mean, flights are inevitable. So one thing to offset our flight impression is that we are working with an organization in Gujarat who are planting trees. So that is one thing that we do. We make sure that every year we contribute and donate trees. But then the other thing is, of course, we make sure that there's no plastics, etc. That's, of course, logical. We have vegetarian food, wonderful Indian vegetarian food.
Absolutely.
Yes. And then we have another, activity where we say this is trash for cash. And
I was about to come to that.
oh, you want me to tell now, or you want to ask the question
please,
first?
please go ahead.
Yeah, I think because it's like this is one of those things that you make. It's more like an awareness than it is really on your like sustainable efforts. But here we make that we give people entry to LaLaLand Festival, and they can pay with trash. Last year it was 500 cigarette butts gave you a free ticket to LaLaLand. And I think this year will probably be the same.
Okay.
Yeah. And then out of that, we are creating, last year we created an artwork. And that artwork is currently being exhibited at the Stadskantoor in Utrecht. So for those people who are living in the Netherlands and can visit Utrecht, I mean, it's near the station, and it will be exhibited there till September. So it's called the Peukebos. It's impressive. And this year again, we are working with another organization where we're recycling low-value plastics that cannot be recycled normally. They've got a new technique. And we're going to create a bench, like a garden set. So this is our new project, apart from the art projects, of course, that we're showcasing at LaLaLand.
Nice. And how this is different than the waste truck? Or is it just...
The waste bar. Yeah, so the waste bar.
Sorry, waste bar.
No, that's good. So LaLaLand Festival is part of the Lala Foundation. That's the foundation that Lalita and I started together. And the waste bar is also part of that. And the waste bar is a truck, indeed, like it's a food truck. And we also have a small electric tuk-tuk, like more like a coffee bar. And this travels through the Netherlands, goes to events, businesses. We're being invited at different places. And again, here people can pay with waste. So, for example, there it's like 25 cigarette butts give you a portion of poffertjes. And poffertjes are these Dutch mini pancakes. People love them. Or a drink. So this is what we do with the waste bar.
Nice.
Yeah, and just to add on, so we believe these projects that we do, like the Waste Bar and LaLaLand, and Trash for Cash, which is all together in the Lala Foundation, these projects will raise awareness, of course, for the people who participate. So we always say, once seen can't be unseen. Basically, when you have participated and picked up trash from the ground, those cigarette butts, for instance, after that, you will always notice that they are there. And hopefully, that's what we want to achieve. People will pick it up, take it back, and do the right thing with it, rather than leaving it and just passing it. So that's the whole idea behind this.
It becomes a habit then.
It becomes a habit. We see that it becomes a habit. We have experienced it ourselves. And now when people come to our festival and pay with those 500 cigarette butts, they can't unseen anything anymore. They won't probably pick up all the other trash as well from now on.
Wonderful. Yeah. So different artists who come across the globe, or is it from India and Netherlands only?
No. So across the globe, but some of them will come from India. We will invite them, particularly from India. But as Noreen was saying, we try to also hook up with, let's say, the artists who are already traveling. That we can...
And these artists really work towards a social change impact that you want to create here along with you.
Yeah, of course. Like artists in general are quite conscious people, right? I mean, I won't say everybody is there just to make an impact. But for example, if you're talking about like just India and the Netherlands, it goes beyond, right? And we have, for example, this edition, we are inviting Kulaskoro, and they're actually from, this is the Maroon community from Suriname, so the Negro community. Nice. And their connection with India is actually that the Dutch, let's say the Dutch merchants went to India to get very nice fabrics, brought that to Africa. With that, they bought people. And these people were made slaves and got shipped to Suriname. And there they, now they've been liberated, of course, and they've kept their own community or their own identity and created and that we bring again to LaLaLand. So it goes beyond just a small India-Netherlands connect, right? Also to show that we are part of a global society. And again there, if you're talking about being conscious, I mean, being conscious of heritage is also something that you should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, absolutely. So any artist or any artist group that you could recall now that comes first into your mind, that group or that artist really made an impact,
Yeah, that was last year. We invited Dharavi Rocks, a band with youngsters.
Yes, from Dharavi,
10
Mumbai.
people from the Ravi slums in Mumbai.
Yeah, wonderful.
And they make their own instruments with all, the trash actually that they collect in the Dharavi slums.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful to have them here. It was also a big experience for us because most of them, of course, did not have a passport as of yet. So we had to arrange that first before they could even travel out of the Dharavi slums, out of India, coming to the Netherlands, performing here in Amsterdam, here at Ruigoord.
Wonderful.
For a Dutch audience, which was, it gave an amazing impact for them as well as for us, as well as for the public.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, that made a big impact. I mean,
I was about to ask about the challenges and the successes, but I think the success you already said, bringing Dharavi Rocks, right? Dharavi Rocks
Yes, the
from
Dharavi
Mumbai slum community to Netherlands.
So I guess another project that we're quite proud of was an international collaboration with Subodh Kerkar, an artist from Goa, from India. He came to the Netherlands last year to do a video work on the beaches, on the Dutch beaches. And why it was so interesting is because he normally makes very interesting video recordings at the Indian beaches, but this time it was here in the Netherlands, where he actually says the ocean does not divide people, but it connects people and our worlds. Yeah. It was super. We had 100 participants in this video artwork. Coming from all over the country, and it was an amazing work that we could showcase at the festival. This was taking 2 weeks before the festival, and it was launched at LaLaLand Festival last year.
What a thought! Oceans don't divide; they unite.
Indeed. And that's the kind of thing we do, like collaborative kind of projects, participatory. And again, for this year, the upcoming edition on the 5th and the 6th of July, we have again, like, for example, the International Qawwali Sisters. This is a group of female Qawwali singers.
Wow.
More than 20 will be on stage.
Wonderful.
So I think that these are the kind of projects that are very, very interesting to bring. Apart from Trita, who is like a classical trained musician, but she's a rock star and she's a DJ.
Okay.
So these are, like that's interesting. And then of course our classical program. I mean, we have a very great and strong following for our classical program because it's really top notch. Again, this year we will have Sabir Khan, for example, and people should come even if it's just for the classical.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm already into Qawwali mode now. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, it will be really amazing. Yeah. And that too being driven by 20 female Qawwalis. Not.
Yeah, that's what you do with a festival. You're stretching boundaries, right? Where you bring good quality, but also showcase things that are people would otherwise not be encountered with. Yeah. We also brought last year, we had drag queens, for example, right? And we do a lot of collaborations. We give Indian artists a stage together with Dutch artists. And we're also inviting anybody who is looking and watching this. If you have anything interesting to bring to LaLaLand, please bring it to us. Yes, you know where to find us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a very nice shout out loud to the people who are really wanting to be part of LaLaLand Festival.
Yes.
And they can just contact you and Lalita.
Yes.
Right. Wonderful. So
I don't know if I want to tell that you know, Mahesh, because like last year, can I tell?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
So what I also, like last year, Mahesh actually took the stage, right? As we had a spoken word performance, we had invited people from the Netherlands, based in the Netherlands, to participate in a workshop. This was a few weeks before the festival, and under guidance, you created a piece and performed actually on stage.
Absolutely.
Right?
We were 7 of us.
Yeah.
And for all of us, it was a very different thing called a spoken poetry or the spoken words.
Spoken words. Yeah.
So while we write poetries, we recite poetries, but spoken words were something different because it was supposed to be enacted along with what you are reciting the poetry on the stage now.
Yeah.
So thanks for the opportunity. It was a very nice program that you envisaged.
Yeah, and that was with Priyam Chandrakant. So she did a very good job there,
Absolutely. Yeah. So talking about looking ahead, because LaLaLand Festival was set up, it is set up now, it is doing good. What's next? To basically, do this artistic promotions, to set things up in Netherlands with respect to art, culture, heritage, customs, values, traditions.
Yeah. Well, as you say, like LaLaLand Festival focuses on culture. We all know that India is booming, right? The developments in India are going so fast, and it's such an important country. The position that it takes in the world at the moment. So that is why we decided to add one more festival to LaLaLand Festival. And this is called the India Insight Festival. Het grootste...
India Kennisfestival.
And
India Kennisfestival.
And that is why we decided to add one more festival to LaLaLand Festival. And this is the India Insight Festival, which is the India Kennis Festival. And this will be on the 3rd of July, so on the Thursday before LaLaLand Festival. And this is aimed at professionals and businesses, where on the different stages that we also have at LaLaLand Festival, we then use for inspirational talks, panel discussions, book presentations, workshops. And this is all to deepen your knowledge on India, on a business level, on a professional development level. And we really think that it is... this is important to add, add this to the cultural angle.
Wow. Yeah. That's a great vision, I would say, because if I see the LaLaLand, it is stepping up each time, with a different perspective, with a different area that has never been experienced or charted by anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful. It's a different audience.
Different audience,
exactly.
Yeah. So I think working on LaLaLand the entire year, also executing it and then relaxing it back, after it has been executed. No? Don't relax back? Okay.
So then we start again with the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when you start with the LaLaLand Festival for the next year, it is more of a personal journey, also you go through while implementing, while thinking, planning, strategizing. So how is that related to your, professional, I will not say professional, but your passion, what you do with your personal journey, how these two journeys go hand in hand together?
It's the journey that we live for, of course. I mean, it goes hand in hand, I think, for both of us.
Yeah. And
this is what we like to showcase to the world.
Wonderful. That passion and personal journey cannot be different, right? These are two journeys which can go hand in hand together, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you have spent considerable amount of time in India, right? How staying in India has shaped your personal and professional, I will say, thought process or the way you operate, while being in Netherlands or while being in India. So has any of the Indian way of living, way of thinking shaped your personal and professional outlook?
So actually everything in my life has to do about art and culture. So as well as the way that LaLaLand Festival started, as well as my other professional company that I have. It's a PR company, and we help a lot of organizations in the cultural sector to get their vision through the media to the audiences. And that's also what I love doing for LaLaLand Festival.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, so on your question about what did we learn in India? What did I learn? What did I take home? And I think it's mostly being flexible, flexibility and agile, right? Because that is in India what it is all about. And it makes you trust in yourself, trust in the people around you, and trust in the universe. that things will be all right.
Nice. Yeah, that is what the spirit of India is.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
how the magic of LaLaLand happens as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No. So I think we are coming to the final question now. I don't want to stop this interview, but it is really going so well. Your stay in India and your LaLaLand festivals in Netherlands. So what have been your most memorable moments, either of your stay in India or your LaLaLand experiences in Netherlands, that really encapsulates the spirit of LaLaLand festival?
Okay, maybe I can answer this question in one example about the festival itself, because we always start the festival with a short video of my father, who actually explains in the video how he got into the Indian classical music and dance. And that was when he was 14 years old and he was listening to the radio and he heard sarangi music. And then he says, it touched my soul. And that's actually what he has been doing for the rest of his life, to get more knowledge of Indian classical music and dance. And what Noreen and I want to have with LaLaLand Festival is that it touches everybody's soul.
Wow. Yeah.
That's what we love.
That's what we
Wonderful. Yeah. So thank you so much, Noreen and Lalita, for giving your precious time for this podcast, The Tulips Lounge. It has been a great conversation, I would say. From our Sikh thing, Sanskriti, which means culture, and Sanskar, which means values, we wish you all the very best in your all the future endeavors and all your future vision towards LaLaLand and other initiatives that you want to take for Indian community as a whole. So thank you so much. And I know that you both know Hindi as well. So you know what we are expecting now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Dhanyawad.
अंग मोर तरपत अंग अंग मोर तरपत